Damn, I can't believe I was muted. Let's try this again, right? Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to like Knowledge and Relationships, Fun Fridays, where pretty much all the fuckery begins. You know, the random stuff. This is your host M3, and tonight, man, I'm just doing like a random live stream. I would just say this more like an emergency live stream at this point. Now, excuse like the Instagram ratio. The streamer had this update, and I cannot fix it to get into the original ratio in the same format as the YouTube one. But anyways, all right, I'm not here to talk about that. If you guys want to check out the full ratio, go ahead to Knowledge and Relationships live streams right here on YouTube.com. Anyways, so I had to make this one, right? And I wasn't really planning to do this, like, especially like on a Friday night. But damn, man, like it just seemed like people, they just find a way to just be heard, just be seen. And right now, man, like the internet is still going crazy over Akaash, if I'm pronouncing his name, and I think her name is what, Leanne or something, or whatever her name is. Anyways, Akaash's wife, okay, is at it again. And this time, I'm about to react to a YouTuber who's also reacting to another YouTuber. And basically, this guy got more receipts based off his wife's podcast that he pretty much funded. And so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go straight to the point because it is like the length of the time is like 30 minutes, but I'm gonna try to skip as much as I can and just get to the main points. But without further ado, let's go ahead, man, and we'll get started. Shout outs to content creator Young Don Reacts. He also goes by the name of YDR. He's a good content creator. Definitely does his research and homework, and his commentary, man, is on point. So, hey, I know, like, you know, this is a smaller channel, but feel free to go ahead and subscribe to him as well. So, shout outs to him. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead, man. We're gonna play the video.
You walk happy.
I walk happy.
You take care of your kid.
I give hand jobs.
Yeah, no blow
Hand jobs.
jobs. So
Hand jobs. She don't even suck this dude's dick. But that's not surprising. That's not surprising, actually. She want to sit on fucking Nav's dick for free, but you got to buy her 2 fat-ass diamond rings, and all you do is get a little bit of a handy from time to time. That's tough.
Crazy, man.
The Akaash wife scandal is worse than we thought. No! How could it get worse? Video by Poetic Flacco. Okay, let's dive into this, man. How on earth can it get worse?
And also shout out to Poetic Flacco, because he's the one that's like bringing out like the most receipts so far. And he just pretty much like just putting us out there. So yeah, man, if anything else, man, go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Let's go.
We've seen her talking about the legendary 10-incher that Nav has. We've seen her dodging his kisses when he proposed to her twice. She dodged kisses from this man twice after proposing to her. I didn't think it could get worse, but apparently it does. Let's go.
This situation with Akaash's wife is worse than I thought. I think it's worse than what any of us thought. I went down the rabbit hole, and what I found, honestly, is...
Sorry to talk over, but you know what's funny? Because when we was reacting to it, one of the things that was highlighted, and shouts to Albert and Preach as well too, every kiss that he would try to like make, where it'd be like his first engagement, dodging. You know, his second engagement, dodging. There's multiple videos of her dodging the kisses. Shouts to Lighthouse 301. Salutes to you. Thank you for tuning in. He says, like on the smash, sir. Have an awesome life and happy holidays. Thank you so much. Happy holidays to you as well. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please make sure you share the videos to friends and family who might want to watch this or people who need to see this. But anyways, you just said Smitty, bro. Oh, you just said Smitty. Okay. So Smitty. Well, Smitty, I didn't know it was you, bro. Like you changed your name, bro. So, but yeah. Anyway, Smitty, aka Lighthouse. Thank you for the representation, man, and just showing some love. But anyways, let me go ahead, man. We'll continue this video because man, it's getting juicy, man, as we're watching this. All right, let's go.
Is absolutely horrifying.
Goodness.
Before I went down a rabbit hole, I thought the end all be all to this story was Akaash wifed up a bop, wifed up a girl who'd been with a lot of guys while still believing that she was a virgin when they met. So I just thought, okay, Akaash is a dummy that Akaash needs to change his
Look at that fucking ring, my boy. Sheesh. Look at that.
name to
Look at that fucking diamond. Good Lord. Fuck. Wait a second. We gotta. All right. How big you think that shit is, man? All right. Check this out. This is a diamond chart. Okay. That's definitely at least a 3 carat, possibly a 4. Let's look up how much diamond rings of this size cost. A mid to high quality 3 carat diamond.
Who still someone likes you, loves you.
Basically, she got a 4 carat diamond ring. So he's going all in, for his chick.
You and adore you for the right reason. Like, you're still a dummy and a fool for being with her, but like, it's not worse than a chick who's just with you for money, right?
Different. My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Let me ask you this:
and
I do believe her.
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just
if
like,
you've seen her, if you know her, it's hard to believe.
What? But she was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy. I have 2 butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder and I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to hook up. And I woke up in the morning and my asshole was a little sore.
Oh my God.
That's how you know she was fucking heavy with white dudes too, man. They into that shit, right? No offense.
Not only is he with the chick who got passed around, who was hella promiscuous while believing she was a virgin, but he's with the chick who is with him only for money, who don't really like him. Like, she believes that your money is hers and she's entitled to it because without her, you wouldn't make any money.
There's a lot of stuff in the background that I do to
see. She got both of them on, bro. She got both of them on. She got the first engagement ring and the second right here.
And the funny thing is that I didn't even peep that until he called that out. Let's see. So both of them okay, again, she's already flaunting. She's already talking about how she's making him better without her. Basically, Akaash should just be Akaash, Anyways, let's go ahead.
Shorty walking around with 150 bands on her hands, bro, talking about she trying to sit on the 10-incher.
To kind of support him in that situation. Yeah. So that's why it pisses me off when these incel troll losers are like, oh, what do you mean you guys paid for it? He paid for it. Do you know what his stand-up is about? It's about me. If I didn't have this personality, what do you think you would talk about?
That is true. Maybe that's comparable to the law.
He'd probably be funnier.
Country, so yeah, you can get your flowers for that one.
There's so
He'd
much.
probably be making way more money if you weren't in his life.
Much relationship content that he talks about, and hello,
the muse is sitting.
Exactly, and it's that, and on top of that, giving emotional support when he's talking shit about me on stage. I should get a Nobel Peace Prize for that. Honestly.
Wow.
Honestly, I feel like
this chick is a fucking level 10 narcissist. Golly.
That's an IP address. And
I do agree with him on that part, right? Because, again, right now we're going through the light stuff, right? So when we get to, I'll say maybe to the midpoint of this reaction, and again, I'm going to skip most of it or whatever. This the part where I feel man, she could be on top of charts, like above like Aisha Curry, above like a Jada Pinkett Smith, right? With just like the narcissism, the way how she's treating her husband. She just like shitting on him like she just don't care. And it just downright sad. But at the same time, could we really blame her? Could we really cast like stones, like, you know, again, I don't even remember his wife's name, so it don't really matter to me, but could we really cast stones at Akaash's wife like this? When Akaash is the one who was basically enabling that behavior to begin with. Okay? But anyways, I digress. Let's go.
The way that you're like, every time he mentions you, it's like equity. What is it? No, royalty.
Royalty.
You just throw out business terms all the time. Equity.
Yeah, equity.
No, honestly, I should get royalty, and I basically do.
So I guess
You know, Akaash paid for this entire podcast set. He paid for the rings. He paid for the podcast set, only for her to sit there and talk about the 10-incher.
No prenup and a joint bank account. Go fuck yourself. So I will say,
No
I will say
prenup.
we paid for
Loud and proud.
something because it's my money too, legally and also spiritually.
Now, okay, now that's the part where I'm getting lost at, as far as when she's talking about like spiritually. Okay, yeah, okay, legally by law, once you're married, his money is pretty much like your money as well too. And whatever little chunk change that she had for $600 supposed to be his money too. But according to her, her money is her money, his money is her money. But spiritually, the spiritual aspects, okay, whatever, right? I just feel like she's just filling in a lot of words.
No prenup and a joint bank account with a woman who believes you're not even doing her a favor, that's her money
Yeah.
that she has access to. She's not even saying, oh, my husband's a good guy, he shares his money with me. No, she's saying, that's my money. Yo, a gold digger is one thing, because even when she takes you to the cleaners,
I mean, it is her money. The second you got married, everything that belongs to you belongs to her. Yeah. Where you fucked up is giving that shit to the wrong person.
but a woman who's a gold digger, who's a shark, who believes in her heart, she has the moral obligation to take everything you have because you wouldn't have that without her. That's a woman you got no business being with, bruh. Even if Akaash,
Yeah, I think a lot of women get accused of being gold diggers just because they actually give a
And spot. So let me think.
wow.
she
gotta
does so
think.
little that she has to think.
Yeah.
these that are different, or how do you guys divide up chores,
No.
or do you work
No, he's responsible for everything.
at all in your home?
Yes, I do things.
Okay, so I skipped over a little bit too much, but basically what her co-host was asking her is that while Akaash is out here pretty much bringing home the bacon, making all the money, doing everything by himself, because remember, she don't cook, she don't clean, and, you know, basically like, you know, she cleans her side of laundry, he has to clean his. But the question that she's asking her is that, hey, what do you really bring? Okay, as far as, I'm not trying to use no table word, but basically, what do you bring to the household? What do you contribute? Do you at least like, you know, cook something, or what are your chores? I mean, she is like a stay-at-home wife.
Some of the things I do, well, you're
Look
putting
how hard she got to think. You're putting me on the spot. I can't think of a single thing that I actually do to contribute to my own household.
me on the spot. So let me think.
Wow.
She
gotta
does so
think.
little that she has to think.
Yeah. I turn the lights off before I get into bed sometimes.
Just your tasks that she have done this week.
You walk happy.
I walk happy.
You take care of your kid.
I give hand jobs.
And then she had to fill in some words for it. But listen to this. She gives him a hand job. Oh, let me shrink this a little quick. She gives a man a hand job. Okay? Not even a blow job, but a hand job. And let's do it again.
Yeah, no blow
Hand jobs.
job. So
A woman who was openly bragging.
Hand jobs. She don't even suck this dude's dick. But that's not surprising. That's not surprising, actually.
About popping cootie cat at random frat houses with
Yeah.
white men is bragging about
Right.
not even giving
All
her-
you can.
And so here's another thing I also want to point out as well too, because all right. So she don't give her own husband a blowjob, okay? A BJ, if you want to call it, right? Let's keep it clean. But then yet when it comes to like those like fat white boys that she was dealing with, man, there was like a video when she was going like graphic on it. It was like, yeah, I was on my period, and I thought my period was over. And during that time, like when the guy was eating her out, while I think he was eating her out after, like when she sucked his dick. You know what I mean? So it's okay for her, or she could like pretty much like have the satisfaction to pretty much go down on someone, but at the same time, you don't want to go down for your own husband. You talking about because no blowjobs or whatever, right? But a hand job is the most that he can get. And of course, they're going to be talking more about it.
Can get as a handy. Ugh.
Her husband.
She want to sit on fucking Nav's dick for free, but you got to buy her 2 fat ass diamond rings, and all you do is get a little bit of a handy from time to time. That's tough.
A hand job is as best as he can get. And he's a multi-millionaire.
That's pathetic.
Put cereal back after I've taken it out.
For yourself or for both of you?
For myself. I rinse dishes.
Okay, that's good.
I order
rinse
water
dishes.
bottles.
You know what she means by I rinse dishes? When she finishes eating and she puts the plate in the sink, because we know Akaash has to come home after working all day and paying for everything and all that. He has to then come home and load the dishwasher, even though his wife literally has nothing to fucking do all day. She's talking about the fact that when she puts the dish in the sink, she turns on the faucet and let some water run on it so that the fucking food don't stick to the plate. To her, that's contributing to the household.
So many things I just listed. Things that I do. I mean,
and I think, and it comes to remind me about something, because when he was on her podcast with him and I guess the known 10-incher, one of the things he was talking about, like how exhausted, how tired he is, and how he hopes that like one of his wife would just be like, yeah, like, sorry dear and all this other stuff, but she's like, hey, I'm tired too, and I can see why she's tired. She doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, but then she eats, and then she has to like turn on the faucet and all this other stuff. So I guess that's a lot of work for her. And then she did mention that she went on like one of those like happy walks or whatever. So that took a lot of energy. Poor girl, Gosh, man, you need to do better, man.
I'm not Superwoman.
I walk the dog, you walk your dog. That's obviously your dog.
Martha Stewart over here.
Yeah.
She wants to take credit for walking her own dog.
Okay, Nail does laundry. She does one
thing.
And she acts like she does so much more than me. All you do is laundry.
Okay, I don't.
Or like I'll rub his head, or like I'll help him with
Okay, that's cute.
hair. Like things like that. I'll help him go to sleep. So I do kind of like motherly things, but not like the cleaning motherly things or like the 50s housewife type things. I think I like baby him when he
50s housewife? You mean just adult behavior?
Needs it and give him the TLC. But also likewise, like, when I'm a little bit hormonal, he'll baby me.
Huge fan of like outsourcing and subscriptions.
You don't need any more babying.
Whenever we can. So when we used to live in LA, it was like Instacart for groceries or food like that.
I do that, yeah.
Love it. I don't love going to the grocery store all the time. Also, cleaning lady, we both have.
Agreed. Yeah.
Much needed.
Yeah.
I feel like you can clean up after yourselves, but every other week it's nice to have a deep clean. Whenever, because
I don't think anything's wrong with that.
I live with my in-laws. We have a cooking lady that comes whenever we host people, because I ain't gonna be the cook.
I mean, if I had like a lot of money, like I would get like a cleaning maid as well too. Sometimes like you need someone to kind of help you with that deep clean, especially like if you live in like in a big ass house or so, or a good mansion. So I'm not gonna knock her, for that. I think sometimes it's smart to do that.
Is she like a desi?
Yeah, so she does all the Indian food. So when my parents came a few weeks ago, she cooked all the food, because I don't have time to cook for a family of like 15 people.
Okay, a family of 15 people. Okay. I will say almost fair enough, but then it's like, what does she do like outside of this podcast? Like, I'm for sure that other chick is a stay-at-home mom. I'm sorry. Hey, does she have any kids? I don't know. But let's just say she's a stay-at-home like mom or stay-at-home wife or whatever. I'm for sure she don't have that much like to really do. So you could at least like spend a little extra time meal prepping, get things ready for your family. But hey, I digress.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Oh, you outsource laundry, right?
No, laundry, we each do our own laundry.
Okay.
Which I think is
Oh my god!
Yeah, so that was the other part, like I mentioned before. Okay, she does her own laundry, and he does his. But again, imagine like you doing your podcast, you're going on comedy tours. Now, but you're coming home, you gotta still clean up around like yourself. You gotta probably clean up the dishes. Hey man, like he's a better man than me, man. Look, when I come home, I expect shit to be done. Okay, especially if I'm working twice as hard and I'm supplementing like my partner's income or whatever the case is. I expect things to be done. I expect like man, like the house is still like look like it was brand new when we first purchased it. That's my expectation. Wally, salute, man. Salute, salute, salute. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Wally, if you can, man, feel free to come up. All right. Let's go ahead, man. We're going to get it started.
Oh my god! Bro, she can't even, when she's loading the laundry, she can't even exert the effort to just throw his shit in there with it. Oh my fucking god, bro. Wow. This nigga got to do his own laundry.
Yeah, that's
I thought we were about to hear they outsource laundry, because they got money. They got money. And honestly, I don't think that a woman has to do these things. Like, if you got money like that, she should be contributing in some meaningful way, some way, somehow, right? And honestly, no. If you don't got shit to do, you don't have a job, you don't got any kids, I don't care if I'm a fucking multimillionaire, put the fucking darks in the washer, huh? Put the towels in the washing machine. It literally takes 30 seconds to do. Oh my, doing laundry is like so effortless. It's so simple and easy. It's very appreciated, but the act in of itself is not difficult. The hardest part is folding the clothes if you do that shit, but there are ways around that. I mean, you got money, you got wardrobes, you can hang everything up. I guess you gotta fold the underwear, but I mean, that's simple and easy. The point I'm making is, though, I would have respected it more if he was paying for some kind of laundry service, bro. The fact that this nigga got to come home and do his own laundry and fold his own clothes while he is giving this woman such a luxurious lifestyle, and she literally does nothing all day. She doesn't work. She doesn't cook, clean, nothing, bro.
And she won't even do his laundry.
Right.
When she does her laundry,
right,
she doesn't say, oh man, let me look for my husband's stuff to. No, he has to come home from making all the money and do his own laundry.
Like, this is how we got it set up in my house. We got 3.
All right, let me go ahead. We're going to like skip a little bit. But I understand where these bros coming from, right? You have a simple system. You could easily do your own laundry. You could take the time to show some type of appreciation and do your husband's laundry as well too. And then let's see. Shouts to Daryl Long, like salute, man. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go ahead and
it makes no difference. And so you just take up the laundry basket, boop, throw it in the washing machine, done.
And the reason why she operates like this is because she truly believes that she's entitled to his money. That like his money is her money because he talks about her and makes jokes about her.
Bro, this ain't even about money no more, bro. This chick is evil.
But in her mind, in her eyes,
a hand job, he just gets a handy. Oh God.
Like, she has nothing to be grateful about. Like, she's not.
If they ever do that orgy, Akaash is gonna have to sit there and watch her just fucking slurp that man's Akaash. He just gonna get a handy.
And think about that too, because in her podcast, she was talking to her co-host about how she really want her husband. And I know, at this point, I can't even say that she's playing. At first I was like, okay, she's joking around trying to be funny, But at this point, man, she's doing too much. And the thing is, I want to put it past that. Maybe if the opportunity presented herself, she would pretty much like have that threesome. It would be her, okay, her co-host, the co-host's husband, okay, as known as the 10-incher guy, and Akaash would just be sitting down in a chair with his video camcorder, and he'll just record the whole footage. And who knows? He probably will rule her on, okay, and be like, man, that guy is amazing in bed.
And you know her friend ain't gonna fuck Akaash either. It's just really gonna be her giving Akaash a hand job while she's sucking fucking Nav's dick. And I don't want to get.
That's what his name. So the 10-incher, his name is Nav. And trust me, like the way how she's presenting like this guy, you'll think like this dude was like a Chad or whatever. Okay, but average regular guy. Okay. Anyways, though, let's go ahead. We're gonna continue.
Too explicit here, but the point I'm making is this is so sad.
Anything for Akaash, because according to her, that's her money, and like she's not a gold digger because she dated him when he was broke, and Akaash probably like put up with her because Akaash is probably brainwashed himself into thinking, oh, she's not with me for money because she was with me when I didn't have.
You know what that means? They didn't have sex before they got married. Bro. Oh my God. Because remember, she sold him this fucking crock of shit that she was never sexually active before.
Oh shit, that's right. So she already lied to him, like, dude, like from the beginning. If you really think about it. Because in some white dude's podcast, man, I'm so bad with the names, right? Swartz or whatever his name is. He asked him a question about something, pretend his wife, and he was like, yeah, my wife's like, she's a virgin. And well, when they both like, met, according to how he described it, they both met, as pure virgins, not sleeping around with a bunch of people. So, and the way how she sold him that dream was that she was pure, innocent, little to no body count. And now all of a sudden, you talking about all these dudes that you just slept with, that you had orgies with. You're thinking about like your college days or whatever, when it was like your best days. It's so bad.
Or they got together, probably, told him, yeah, I kissed the guy. She didn't tell him about the butt stuff. I know he didn't hear about the butt stuff. And she was getting smacked, bro. She talked about popping pussy and all that.
Other thing that we always want to talk about is misconceptions about us.
I mean, I think the misconception about me is that maybe I'm a gold digger or that I came from privilege, which are both partly true. I
Oh, man. Yo, look, I know we're gonna have like a 2025 Simple Awards, right? And these dudes are definitely, Akaash is definitely, one of the nominees part of Simple Olympics. Okay, like he is up there. But dude, I feel like we should do like I don't know, like the most like villainous type of like person type of award. I don't know. We'll think of something, but dude, like I know people say like she's like Aisha like 2.0, but nah, this is deeper than that. Like I said, man, like the title says itself. She's like one of the most like dangerous women, that we have ever had a reaction to. Wally says, partly, huh? True. Either you did it or you didn't. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, she's definitely like a straight villain, man. So it's like Jada and Aisha Curry like fusing together, man. This is nasty work.
like nice things, but I didn't marry my husband for that reason because he did not make money when I first met him.
Wait, by that?
He was making money when you married him, though. You saw that he was close with Andrew Schultz. You saw that Andrew Schultz had motion and he was only going up. He had a shared podcast with Andrew Schultz. And so you knew the money was coming.
Definition, I am a gold digger. I married my husband for nice things.
Yeah.
And so
Also, what the
God damn it. These women are just fucking just so evil.
what's wrong with that?
also, like, what? Okay, when you
I still love him.
yeah, I still love him.
No, but I mean, in all seriousness, Akaash was not making any.
Nothing wrong with a woman being more attracted to a man because he's successful. But when that's the only reason you're with the man, it's fucked up.
Thing when we first got together,
Sorry, meant partly true. Either you had money or you didn't. Yeah, I hear you, Wally. Yeah, we're just gonna say like she's definitely like a gold digger, you know. And I know like later on in the video, it's gonna kind of break down like pretty much how strategic like things just kind of got mapped out, thanks to like her sister. So we're gonna go ahead and continue.
fell in love with him like an idiot. He was a walking red flag. He had a 1-bedroom flex with a styrofoam wall and a makeshift headboard. So no, I'm not a gold digger. But now I reap the benefits of being with him when he was poor. You're welcome.
She was probably fucking other guys while she was selling Akaash this lie about being a virgin.
Yo, women like Jasleen are they're manipulators, bro. And Akaash don't strike me as a dumb dude. So it's really
he's a fucking idiot. He's a moron.
Surprising that he's falling for this and eating it up. You have a lot of fame. You are around a lot of famous people. You have a successful podcast with another famous person in Andrew Schultz. It's only a matter of time,
right?
Bro, all right, until you become very
that's like a chick who fucking became the girlfriend of like a superstar basketball player, but like he's in high school, he's a senior in college, or let me not call his name, but fucking, you know what I'm saying? You could probably put two and two.
Yeah, we know who he's talking about. PJ Washington and Brittany Renner. And pretty much like that's how they did it. They scouted him, But matter of fact, let me not jump ahead. Let me just go ahead. We'll continue to play the video. Again, I saw this stuff in already, but yeah, let's go ahead. We're gonna continue, and I'll break it down to you in a minute.
Together, right? She saw the future. It's like dude is dropping 30 points in college. Yeah, he's not making any money yet.
Successful money-wise. Since you're already successful in terms of clout and status.
Can't say, oh, well, I wasn't a gold digger. He wasn't making any money when I started dating him in college. Yeah, but this nigga was starting for Duke, averaging 30.
Right? So you got with a man because he had a lot of status and the money just had to catch up.
So, okay, for women who are dating, you're naturally, most likely, if you are a sane woman, going to go on a date with somebody and you're going to ask them what they do, what their future looks like. And a lot of times,
you know what? I'm glad that he mentioned about status, because here's the thing: a lot of people don't really understand, right? Okay, women will do their best to try to downplay, their motives of them being a gold digger, but you also have to understand too. You have gold diggers who will literally wait until like you have that come up, and they're all in it, right, for what you have to offer for them. And once that money dries out, they're gone, okay? But you also have people, right, that are status chasers. So, of course, where the status comes in, eventually that's where the money is going to be raining in a minute. So, people like Brittany Renner, who's seeing like, young talent like PJ Washington, like she was all in it for the status, because she already knows what was going to come with it. Now, of course, her ass fumbled the bag, and that's her fault. And now she's like, suffering. Good riddance. But, that's just how, like some of these people, like, will try to manipulate their way into your life when they see that you have some type of potential. who are these wannabe white boys? So shout outs to the indigenous black man, the wannabe white boys. Yeah. And but anyways, let me go ahead and go and continue.
I want to be taken care of and
Yeah.
provided for. I don't want to do waste management like Nate. I want someone to do that for me.
Success and money are important if you are looking for that. If you're all about love, go for it. Go for it.
But it's
Kidding.
So how do you show your man love? How do you show your man affection? How do you show your man appreciation? It's obvious how Akaash shows you appreciation. He does it in every possible way. You know what I'm saying? Every possible way that a man could show a woman that he loves her and adores her, Akaash does. What are you doing to reciprocate that? Right? That's a big part of the reason I think why stay-at-home wives actually do all this shit. Why I think even if, once I get to the point where I'm a fucking, I'm worth hundreds of millions of dollars and all our kids are big and in school, I still imagine my wife is going to do shit around the house because just out of showing love. I mean, she can't just watch fucking Real Housewives of fucking Atlanta and fucking, play tennis all day.
In all seriousness, like when you're thinking about investing in someone and having kids, like success also means that they're disciplined. It means that they work hard. So like transitive property, it means they're going to work hard in their relationship. You idiot incels. Like what the do you think? Like it lends itself to other things. It's not just about money and nice things.
Yeah, and also there's so much deep love, but it's like love and money kind of go hand in hand sometimes.
These incels think that they're J. Cole being like, oh, this a bird, she a bird trap or whatever. It's like, you are not J. Cole. You are not as successful as him. Like, they're like, oh, but like, we have to protect ourselves. From what? What money are you making? You're making $70,000 a year in a 3 Series BMW.
Women like this deserve nothing.
Damn. And so she's downplaying like the hardworking 9 to 5 type of men who, again, most men on average are not even getting to like 70,000. They barely even making 70,000 in like a year, but they managed to make things work. Okay, and I guess like the BMW, ain't really shit to her. But let's just say, for instance, that Akaash like literally has some balls and he decided that, hey, I'm going to divorce you. And it's like say like also, and there was no consequences of filing for a divorce. You know what I mean? Let's say he didn't have he had like the prenup and all that, and it was over. Dude, like she would be like, like an average woman making average money at doing something. You know what I mean? Because I don't know like what she's really good at that can actually like top off whatever that Akaash is making right now. Anyways, let's go.
Jesus Christ, she's just like, you're nothing. What? You have a BMW? You gross. Where's your Bugatti?
She's talking down upon men who make $70,000. It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
Right. And
obviously, you're fucking. You got all the resources in the world, and the only reason your podcast got any attention is because you're such a terrible wife, and you got all of the internet making videos about you.
You would think if she understands that her entire life is being paid for by Akaash, that she would have some type of gratefulness, but she doesn't. Okay, she doesn't, because apparently she got with him when he didn't have any money, and she took a risk. What risk did you take?
Right.
When she got with Akaash, her sister was telling her about Akaash and how, she watches their podcast and Akaash is so funny and Akaash is so this. So the sister was Scout Team. She didn't see Akaash or like Akaash personality online. No, the sister ran Scout Team like, yo,
she had like one of those like Dragon Ball Z scouters. You know what they kind of look like? So, and she probably saw like his potential level of 9,000. You know how they always be saying that as a meme, but yeah, man. But he does have a good point. It wasn't even like she even like looked at the dude and was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like a handsome guy. Like, I need to go meet him." No, this is her sister was like, "Hey, like I sense a trick, a sucker. And we're going to scout him, see where his mental was at, this guy might be the one for you. And of course, like, you know, we can't like downplay it. Yeah, she's a straight asshole, but she's also a beautiful woman. And beautiful women know that, look, the more beautiful you are, the easier it is for you to actually attain these type of, I hate to say it's like, because Akaash, like, especially before she started shitting on him, like, he would have been perceived as high value because he makes so much money. He's pretty much kind of well known locally, and then especially like on YouTube. So he does have a name. Like you could pretty much Google him and you could see his stats. You can't Google yourself because you're not as important like he is. But after all the shitting on that she's doing, man, like I don't think no girl will even want to touch him like that or even take him serious in this relationship. And at the same time, you're gonna have like these rich guys that's looking at her behavior, and they're gonna be like, "Nah, I don't even want that." So she already disqualified herself from advancing to the next rich dude. Let's see, making the housewife got the game messed up. You know what? Tricking is a disease, man. It's a mental illness. I don't care what it is, man. Look, I don't care how rich you are. People will say it ain't tricking unless you got it. But let me tell you this, man. You're trying to buy love. Something is mentally wrong. You have some layers and layers of insecurities that you need to work yourself out. You got the demons in you, man. And I don't know what it is, but look, I'm anti-tricking. Okay? Like, I believe in all equal share, that as much as you put in, you should also receive that equal amount. I believe in equality, okay? Especially like when it comes to money and all that. But all these different roles of being a provider, look, man, this is 2025, man. Fuck that shit. See, you can't paint up a turret and then call it a dime figure. That's true. Facts.
There's this dude right here. He's really famous, about to be successful.
I wanted to tell the story of how me and Akaash met because a couple of you guys asked on a video we did a while back.
She's just bragging. She's just bragging about how it was kind of like when Andrew Tate couldn't stop talking about how he made his money by trafficking women, you know, and manipulating women. He made entire courses about it. I think for some people,
hey, on a side note, man, that girl, she got some good old beaver teeth, man. So, man, shout out to his beaver teeth wife, man.
They're evil, but they also need people to appreciate just how fucking, like, devious they are.
And I wanted to tell the story tonight because I'm seeing two friends for their birthday in Philly tonight, and I'm driving from the city, and one of the friends that I'm seeing, Courtney, is like partially the reason.
I mean, ain't nothing really wrong with her teeth, you know. I'm just saying, man, she remind me of a beaver, you know what I mean? But anyways, you know, I digress.
That we met, like her and my sister Manu, wind back to like 2015.
She's driving? Is she holding the phone and driving and making this video? She's so self-absorbed.
Courtney says to Manu, like, oh, there's like this funny like Punjabi comic. So she thought the last name Singh, you know, because that's what we told her meant that he was Punjabi. You know, he's on this podcast and he's really funny. Like, you should check it out. And my sister
She's not gonna stop. She's not gonna stop. She's not even gonna have the decency to do what Travis Hunter's wife did. What was her name?
Deanna Lene. You know it. And I forgot about Travis Hunter's situation with his wife, man. I guess finally Leanna decided to like just chill, calm down, and stop putting her marital business out there like on the front line, on the internet. Okay? It done her no good. And if Travis Hunter wasn't like a bigger simp, she would have already lost that bag before even advancing into marriage. But luckily for her, Travis Hunter is stupid. Okay? He's a young, dumb kid.
Again? Yes, Leanna Lene. At least she had the good sense and decency to stop the fucking just abuse and stop embarrassing this guy on the internet. She fucking went private and stopped making videos and stopped talking about her marriage. This girl, on the other hand, she's gonna turn.
Don't forget to remember, Leanna, she found God. She found the Lord, y'all. So, look, women like in their 3 or 4 stages, and after you're messing up, like like your happy home, eventually, right, you're going to go back to God. All right, and you're gonna hear all the God talks or whatever before they fade into the background, and before they start coming back on social media talking about some more dumb stuff. Let's go.
Ramp this shit up because she does not give a fuck about Akaash. She loves the attention. She's a villain.
Became like a fan of his, and she was like, oh, we should go to this Hoboken Comedy Festival because there's all these comics are going to be there, and that guy I told you about is going to be there too. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. We got there late, but we got there in time to see him perform. And it was so weird because they had like, I don't know whose idea it was to have this comedy festival in like a movie theater, just like a weird venue for comedy. So we go to where in the room that he's performing, and there's like maybe 10 or 12 people in the room. But so Manu is like, oh, can we get a picture with you? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he like, obviously, like again, like early stages of his career, like he wasn't really getting asked all that much. So she took a picture.
See, she keep throwing up the early stages of his career, as if like she's trying to prove a point to the media that look at me, y'all. I dated Akaash, or I fell in love with him when he was broke, when he didn't really have anything popping, but he already had something going on. And especially, look, you gotta assume like the dude's an Indian, right? I'm sorry, well, Middle Eastern. So, dude probably already was loaded with money, like on the back end, or like with stocks and other type of investment. So don't even try to downplay it as if like you dated him or you went after him when he was broke. Dude was never broke to begin with. It's just that now he has more money, to pretty much to save up to invest into. Now since he's more margin than what he was before. And again, you scouted, your sister helped scout him for you because she even saw the potential in this guy's career as far as with the podcast, because that's what she mentioned. The podcast with Andrew Schultz, the comedy tours. Okay, the dude was already above average than most people were. Most people are not really successful at doing this podcast and stuff. Most people are not going around, doing comedy tours and being successful. So let's stop right here. All right.
Picture of me and him together.
Her friend was a
from the very beginning.
That much.
From the very
she took
beginning.
A picture of me
Look
and
at
him
this.
together.
Look.
Let me see if I could fast forward. I'm not fast forward, but let's see if I could zoom in. Okay, I was hoping I was going to be able to zoom in, but look, take a look real quick, okay? Excuse me. This is pretty much the night when they first met. Okay, after the comedy show was over, and pretty much like her sister kind of gave her like the alley oops, like go ahead and just like shoot your shot. And I know YDR, like Young Dog, he's going to say the same thing that I'm going to say, but basically, like look at his body language, look at hers. And also, too, guys, like I'm just going to keep it real with you, man, because I've done this before when I take pictures with certain women, and I would just have like the most like, matter of fact, let me put myself out there, right? I'll have the most like goofy looking face, right? Let me turn the light on real quick, right? Okay, I'll have a face doing like this or that. Like I'll just be like so silly with it. You know what I mean? And looking back, I'm like, the women were more stoic in their pictures than how I was. And when I started kind of looking, I was like, man, I mean, it's nothing wrong like having like a little goofiness, but not too much. You know what I mean? Especially like in pictures. It just doesn't sit well. And then from that point on, man, like, I cut all that goofy shit out when it comes to picture taking. Some people will be like, man, you need to smile. Like, I don't need to smile for shit. You know? Like, I smile like, you know, when I feel like it's a good time to smile. But other than that, let me go back to it again so you guys can take a closer look. Okay. It just always, nowadays, it always irks me, like, when I see guys that's doing the same stuff that I used to do. Okay? You got your hand on the woman's shoulder. At the time, that's not even his woman. But again, you know, you're supposed to be like above here. Like, she's supposed to be your fan. But you put yourself down here. You was more like a fan to her than she was a fan of you. Gosh. So again, eyes all stretched out, off wide open. You just leaning close to her. You already just looked at him like, was like, damn, like this girl's gorgeous, man. Like, you know, I need to put my nose closer to her scent, type of deal. And then notice how her hands are, right? Her hands is closed off. She's not touching you. She's not giving that same type of affection. She's just being still, just casual smile, man. So again, fellas, I just want to just kind of point that part out, man. Like when you're taking pictures with women, you should be the guy where women complain to you about not smiling or not being so close. You should be like the type of guy that's like, look, and especially if that's not your woman, to be honest with you, and I know it's a habit because I usually put my hand around the people's shoulders because like I'm trying to get in the frame of the picture. But honestly, like I think the best way to do it, man, look, just maybe do like a dap pose or give yourself some space, close your arms up. Because honestly, man, it ain't worth the humiliation, man. That's all. Anyways, let's go ahead and we're going to continue.
Look at this picture from the very beginning. Look at it. Leaning into her, holding her with both arms. Her, she didn't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, he looked like the fan. He looks like the fan from the very beginning.
Damn, how do you do that? I'm still trying to figure out, like, how was he able to kind of zoom in on that? That's crazy. Let me see. Let me see if I could do like a zoom in real quick. All right. Oh, I can't zoom on here. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue.
Bro, from the very beginning.
Her friend was a fan of him. Her friend wasn't friends with him. No, she was a fan of him. Her sister was a fan of him. He had hella motion. He had hella status.
Right.
Right. Now, status don't have to mean, yo, he
exactly.
was the
This story. Oh, he didn't have anything. You met him because you went to go see his show because your sister knew who he was. That's how famous he already was. It was obvious.
On a side note, I kind of wonder. Like, I know her sister was pretty much doing her a favor, but I wondered at the time, was her sister in a relationship, or was she single herself? Because I wonder why she didn't try to show herself on her own. Maybe her sister's not attractive looking, you know what I mean? But she saw something through her. I don't know. Hey, you know. Anyways, you know, the sister, like, you know, she hooked her sister up, and that's what it is. So let's go.
It's that the money was coming, but Akaash deserves this because I promise you, that's how he convinced her to marry him and convinced her to be with him. He was telling her, oh, this is how good the podcast is going. This is how much Andrew making. This is how much we gonna make. Oh, this is my cut of the podcast. The podcast is growing this much. You know, he was talking about that shit nonstop. And the whole time she was just, wow. Oh my gosh. You're so amazing. You know, that was her the whole time, just stroking that ego and not stroking that cock though, because she was a virgin, remember? Yeah. And then, you know what I'm saying? That mousetrap, shut.
Superstar ever. No, he had a lot of motion and status within that group. So she don't cook, she don't clean, she don't do laundry. She has nothing but time on her hands. And instead of helping out her husband with, I don't know, washing his clothes, doing certain things for him, she decided she was gonna best use that time to embarrass him on the internet with her podcast. And the reason why she's deciding to embarrass her husband on the internet with this podcast is actually one of the most infuriating things I've heard out of this whole situation. Okay, the man who's paying all her bills, doing everything for her, and she does nothing back in return, she's doing a podcast because she fears that he might leave her one day.
So I am a 31-year-old stay-at-home wife, and
She's 31. No kids yet either. Okay.
I obviously post a lot of aspirational content.
You met her at 22. She's 31. Not a single kid. Okay.
But I wouldn't be keeping it real if I also
She
didn't
gonna run off with your money and won't even give you no fucking kids, bro. That's crazy.
say that a part of me isn't a little terrified that my husband
I guess in the long run, that's for the best. That way he won't also get hit over the head with child support on top of the alimony, on top of him losing half of everything he has.
like wake up one day and just change his mind, and then my whole life would change. So
Please,
if you
he
are
ain't going nowhere.
going into a relationship where that's your goal,
He's invested so much into you. You've embarrassed him so much. He's not gonna go anywhere.
I just want to make it clear that you do have to consider that decision very carefully of giving up your ability to fend for yourself and basically depending on another human being. And I know a lot of women do make that choice, and I'm obviously being
You don't do that though. You don't do that.
one of them. And I will say, like, there's a difference
You don't
between
fend for
stay-at-home wife and
yourself.
stay-at-home girl.
You don't fend for yourself. You can even afford a decent apartment in New York.
Girlfriend, because as a wife I have like a marriage contract in place, so I do have like some security guaranteed by like the United States law, and I have an amazing husband, don't get me.
She's thinking about divorce. She's thinking about divorce. She's making decisions based on her contemplating that a divorce is imminent. That's bad. That's bad.
wrong, but human beings, like, they change. They're wired to make mistakes, and I just like
And you know what? She's going to cheat on him, and then she's going to blame him.
never know what the future holds. And so it's like, it's a scary thing to
Could
think,
you
but
imagine your girl getting on the internet and talking about how she's doing things to prepare for you guys getting divorced?
I think that's why I just want to lay it all out there, that it's of course something that like goes through my mind. And he's also in the entertainment industry, and guess what? There's hoes in the entertainment industry. Like, there are women who purposely try.
Hold on for a second. Okay. I don't know what just happened, but like my look like my YouTube went on mobile mode. Shouts to all like the quirks, man. What's going on? But anyways, let's go ahead and continue.
To break up a marriage, or who purposely try to target men with money. And that's not just on like them, that's also like on the men too. But it's like, you know, that's why I wanted to start making TikToks, because I was really just looking for some creative.
If Akaash ends up cheating on you, it's because this nigga been in a drought his whole marriage. He been in such a drought his whole marriage. The least you could do is let him get his dick sucked by a fucking groupie.
Fulfillment. And I was also looking to kind of like put my own name out there, because obviously my husband's a comedian, so
Akaash married her without a prenup.
I don't even know if a woman would even touch Akaash at this point. You've made him look like such a fucking lame and a loser now, which was probably intentional.
He gave her access to his
It was 100% intentional, but I'm saying it was probably also strategic to say, let me also make sure that this guy doesn't even get pussy on the road.
Account with all his money in it. She has access to get it whenever she wants. Again, she's married to him without a prenup, but she's still online crying about not having security, and she has to do this podcast to make her name for herself and make her own money because...
Let me see. How long they been married? So they got married in 2021 in New Jersey. So if I'm understanding this correctly, in New Jersey, you actually qualify for spousal support, aka alimony. There is no minimum duration of time, but typically how it works is if you've been married for less than 20 years, then you will support your wife after you get a divorce for up to the length of the marriage. And so I think that's what she's trying to hold on to, right? She's like, okay, if I stay married to him for 5 years, that means I get 5 years of alimony. She's going to want something a little bit longer than that. So she's actually probably not plotting on trying to break up the marriage. A chick like this, she can't fend for herself. Even if she gets half of the money, Akaash's money, she's going to blow that shit in like less than 3 years. So she's probably playing the long game. This is why she's actually, okay, makes sense now. This is why she's pushing for the orgies, because she wants to have sex with other men, but stay married. She knows she's in.
Let's start off. You know, this is bad, man. When you're not really in love with someone, when you're only with them for the wrong reasons, and it's going to be obvious. But again, I don't feel bad for Akaash. Most people would be like, pray for Akaash or whatever. I'm not even going to waste a prayer for him because he knew what he was getting himself into. Like, we can't turn him into like this helpless victim. Okay, like he chose like the one that's the most attractive, the most gorgeous woman, you know, and she's going to choose a guy who has the most resources, who has the best utility. So it's a trade for a trade, but at the end of it, you're doing all this extra praise, you're bigging her up, and she's just tearing you down little by little.
Incapable of managing money. Look at how she spends it. Now, net worth estimations by, websites are usually pretty wrong, pretty off. But one site estimates about $3 million as of April 2025. So he probably is worth between $3 and $6 million. Now, you can never count an Indian out when it comes to managing money. So maybe he is, investing in other things as well. So who knows how much money this guy really got. But point is, if they divorce now, that ain't the kind of bread that will set her for life. You know what I'm saying? It's not the kind of bread, not with the way she blows money. Of course, if she were to downgrade and live a more normal life, sell some of the luxury shit she's been purchasing, yeah, she'll have a nice little nest egg that she could live off for the rest of her life, but that would require her living in a pretty normal apartment.
So basically, what he's just trying to say, so I can wrap this up, is that she's in it for the long haul, okay? She's going to be in it unfaithfully until the time comes when she sets up her divorce. Because again, as you kind of heard a little bit from that previous video when she was talking about like telling her fellow women, hey, this is the life, and this is, you have to count the cost of being a stay-at-home wife. Look, she knows that if she divorced him too soon, she'll get a little something out of it, but it's not, well, her little is basically like something that's going to be huge like to us, all right? But it's going to be something where you're only going to get so much for a limited time. And if you want to get more for the long haul, where you're pretty much like set for life, then you need to make sure that you stay married to this guy, okay? Well, she didn't make sure she stayed married to Akaash. So I think she's not that dumb, I think she knows like what she has to do is tolerate him for the next like 5 to 10 years. And hopefully this dude is so much of a sucker, he's going to let her do whatever that she wants. I even think like in the podcast, he was like just, again, people try to mask things off like they're trying to be funny, but I really believe that this dude Akaash will be willing to settle so low is that he's gonna like allow her to like have all the orgies that she wants. Again, as long as it's a guy that he probably will feel like he approve. As long as like it's a guy that is like more performative in bed, like to her liking, that she's satisfied, then he is going to be okay with it. Which internally he's not okay with it. But he has no choice, because if he wants to keep this woman that he fell in love with, he's going to have to do whatever she tells him to do and meet her requirements. And he don't have to like she don't have to like reciprocate and do a damn thing to pretty much fulfill his requirements because he has none.
Another wealthy man will never marry this girl. This is her only chance. This is the only golden goose she's getting. She's already 31. She has a horrible reputation in terms of how she treats men. And so, yeah, ain't another millionaire going to come by and scoop her up. So just based on all of this shit, I'd say her game, she's just going to stay married to him, keep blowing his money, and find a way to hop on Nav's dick. Good Lord. Good Lord. But hey, guys, that's the video. That's the situation. I didn't think that it could get worse, but it really did. It really did. Pray for Akaash. You know what I'm saying? He needs it. But you let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. And until next time, peace out.
Look, man. Like I said before, I'm not going to waste a prayer on this dude. He already knew what he was getting himself into. And, you know, like YDR was saying that, you know, dude probably like, you know, like spoke like about like his finances, his buddy's finances. Like he already pretty much like gave it a whole game plan of what's bound to happen. And she stroked his ego. She played her part. You know, she played like the good girl type of role until like, you know, he was fully successful and, you know, got married to him. And now since she's comfortable and she knows that, you know, like I said, they've been married for like what, I think 2021. It was originally going to be like in 2020, but that's when the pandemic hit. So it was a little delayed on that part. But other than that, like, man, like, you know, almost what? It's like almost like 5 years. So, yeah, man. So it's crazy. It's wild. Again, Akaash's wife, like, you know, is, in my opinion, it's like the most dangerous woman that I've ever had to react to, more than what we thought of. And I would not be surprised if we hear more information about her. You know, if we get some more updates. Again, look, I just wanted to kind of make the stream because, you know, one, it was going to be fun. You know, two, I'm getting like this new information. I was just like itching for it. So I couldn't help myself. I was like, you know, let me just make a emergency live stream. That's why it's only me talking, just doing the reactions. But again, everybody, I appreciate you guys, like, you know, for like, you know, tuning in. Thank you for tuning into Knowledge and Relationships, like Fun Fridays. This is not going to be like a thing, okay? Like Fun Friday, basically, it's like a random Friday, you know, for me. But again, you know, I know Thanksgiving is around the corner, so you and your loved ones enjoy like your nice week off. If you have a week off or a couple of days off, and if you don't have any days off on Thanksgiving, hey man, it sucks to be you, okay? But other than that, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for tuning in to the channel. Shout out to all the people that, you know, made their comments. And, you know, we'll be back again. We won't stream this week because that is like Thanksgiving week and people are out of town for their families. But we're going to resume again for the following week. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, I just wanted to just bless you guys with some extra content, okay? Until then, peace.
knowledge and relationships.